Hey, good morning, guys. What's going on? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm a finance PhD, and I love financial markets. I love stock markets, and I love talking about what's happening in the markets. And I do this every single day on the Black Financial Channel. So we believe in wealth. We believe particularly in black wealth. And there's a lot to talk about with the stock market. The Dow hit a big number yesterday. It cracked 30,000 for the first time in history. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average has never hit 30,000 ever. And so, with the stock market hitting this high number, the question is, does this mean the market's going to go up or that it's going to go down? Well, we're going to talk about that right now on the Black Financial Channel. Get comfortable and sit down. We're going to get started now. All right, good morning, Lance Leroy and Debt Free Dad. What's going on? Debt Free Dad said he make big gains in the stock market. Well, you and the rest of the world, the only people who didn't make money in the stock market this week are people who are either investing like idiots or people who are just sitting on the sidelines. Which I'm not gonna call you an idiot or anything like that, but I think you're gonna be a little bit mad when all your friends are doing better financially and you're still stuck waiting on a paycheck. But no disrespect. We all take time to learn. I didn't know. I wasn't raised that way. A lot of us weren't raised in a household where we're investors. And I'll tell you what. I told my sister the other day. I said if my parents had taught me about this stuff when I was a kid, I never would have had a job. I never would have had a job. How many of y'all never would have worked? Like if you've known that you could build wealth, if somebody started investing for you when you were like maybe 10 and you had say 80 grand, 100 grand in the bank by the time you were 20, 25, 30 years old, how many of you literally, if you knew understood investing and all this other stuff, all these other easy passive ways to make money, if you had known this, you never would have worked. I will raise both hands. I never would have gone to work. There would never have been a single white man in the history of this world who could say Dr. Boyce Watkins is my employee. Well, I wasn't always Dr. Boyce Watkins. I was just Boyce. And my mama called me Coco. So, that's what it was. So we all got a little nickname. Anybody else got a nickname? If you have a nickname that you grew up with, put your nickname in the chat. Mine was Coco. My sister was Tangy. So there we go. So little ghetto names we had. But anyway, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell. If you're watching on YouTube or something like that, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. And also, you can text the word Boyce to 31996 right there in the ticker. Text Boyce to 31996, and you'll get notifications from me periodically when I go live and things like that. All right, guys. So let me tell you what's going on with the market right now. So the Dow hit a major milestone. It hit 30,000 this week, which was pretty massive. That's a big deal. I remember a time where hitting 10,000 was a big deal. I remember a time where there was a time, actually, believe it or not, where the Dow hit 1,000. It hit 1,000. Everybody said, "Oh my God, it's so high. It's going to drop. It's definitely going to crash. This is crazy." Because I don't know if any of you know these people or have anybody like this in your life. You probably do. If you've been invested and you mentioned this to maybe more than 3 relatives, you probably have at least one friend or relative who is in that naysayer category where basically they keep telling you that the whole economy is going to crash and the whole world's going to come to an end and everybody's going to die. Everybody's going to lose all their money. I don't know if any of you know anybody like that in your family. Give me a yes or no if you have somebody like that in your family or in your friend circle. But there's always somebody who creates the doomsday scenario. Like, oh, this is it. This is when you finally gonna start losing because the haters love to see you lose, right? So oh, this is when you go it's all gonna catch up to you, and this is when the whole economy is gonna crash and the whole world's coming to an end. The stock market's a big Ponzi scheme. And now I'm not saying these people are crazy completely and wrong. There's a lot of concerns. I can tell you as a financial scientist, there are things about this economy that deeply concern me. But here's the thing, Eric Wade and Bridget and Marcus and Johnny and Uganda Realtor and Charlotte. I want you to just keep this in mind whenever you hear the naysayers come up to you. What I want you to say to them is I want you to say, look, but I hear what you're saying, but in the last 120 years, it hasn't happened. 120 years. That's 3 or 4 generations. That's your great grandma's, life, right? So if it ain't happened in 120 years, why are you trying to convince me it's going to happen next week? It hasn't happened in 120 years. Why do you think it's going to happen now? Do you really think like it should? So the question becomes: should I jump in and make money like the rest of the investing world, or should I sit to the sideline waiting for the world to crash and burn? Like seriously. And then if the world does crash and burn, I'd rather have the world crash and burn when I have a little bit of money than to have the world crash and burn while I've been sitting there broke. You didn't even enjoy the good times when they were good. And I have to address the naysayers because a lot of y'all have those people in your life. You have people around you that just love to be depressed. They love to be sad. They love to feel like being black is miserable and that poverty is your birthright and that you ain't never meant to have nothing good. And then these people, unfortunately, if you look at some of their lives, not all of them, some of them self-sabotage. Optimism, solutions, or hopefulness. Everything they do is designed to subconsciously continue the devastation that they become accustomed to. And give me an amen if you know people who do that, where they deliberately will self sabotage any good situation that comes along to put themselves right back where they were before so they would have something to complain about. Complaining has become an industry for them. It's like Good Times. You ever watch episodes of Good Times where, and I don't mean to go on this little diversion real quick, but I had to do this because it was on my soul this morning. So God told me to talk about it. So I'm about to talk about it right now. You ever watch Good Times? You ever notice, anybody ever notice this on the show Good Times? Where Good Times was about the Evans family living in the projects, right? And every episode, there was always something amazing that was about to happen that was going to get them out the projects, right? James got the good job at the car wash, making $3.50 an hour, or Thelma was going to marry the rich man, or Florida finally met somebody who was going to help them buy a house, like whatever, right? There was always something that came along that gave them false hope. And then at the end of the episode, the thing it would always fall through. James, the job, baby, baby, they just called and said I ain't got the job, right? Or somebody would get shot. Thelma's new husband would get killed. I don't remember if that really happened. I'm just making this stuff up. But you know what I'm talking about. It always ended with them end up right back in the projects. And I kind of feel like in life we have people that do that. We have people that literally will self-sabotage in their own lives. They will literally write the end of every story before the story begins. They don't let the story play out. They just write the end, and the end always ends up with devastation because they've been addicted to oppression. They're addicted to depression. They're addicted to regression. I don't want you to be addicted to regression. I want you to at least try, right? And so when we're talking about the stock market right now, here's what's happening right now. In fact, those of you who are not trying to participate yet, I want you to watch this. So everybody help me out with this so we can create some real hope for people so they can actually improve their lives. How many of you in the last month have made money in the stock market? How many of you started the month with less money than what you have now? And it's largely due to the fact that you've been an investor. Give me a yes or no in the chat. Put your yeses in the chat. I need you to throw it up and tell everybody what's going on so that they can get some comfort in knowing that there are lots of people out here that are doing this and it's working and they're succeeding and it's going well. And this isn't just this week. This isn't just this month. This is literally the last like 15, 20 years. Like this is I could do the same experiment in 1994 and it would get the same result. Thank you. Okay, Lisa says no. But I see a lot of yeses and from Marcus and Paris and Lawrence and Timothy and Dominique, and I love it. I'm real happy about this because I believe in solutions. I believe in things that are going to really make your life better, not just make you feel better. All right. So let's keep going. So yeah. So see, I hear, and I love Chosen Elite's comment. He says, "I respect your work, but you must know that the dollar is about to collapse. A man of your intelligence should know that. With my advice, stock food, water, and protection, and get right with Yahweh." I agree with all of that. I agree with all that. Me and Yahweh talk every single morning. Dr. Claude Anderson in Powernomics Masterclass always talks about stock and food, water, and protection. Also, the dollar is definitely weaker than it was before the pandemic. But the dollar has been declining for about 40 years. It's been declining ever since they signed the Bretton Woods Agreement. I believe that's what it was called, where they stopped backing the dollar with anything real. The dollar's not backed by gold anymore. It's backed by people just believing that the dollar is real. It's backed by stuff that's similar to what cryptocurrency is backed by. So you're right. If you ask me, is any of this real? Is crypto real? What is the stock market real? Is anything real? Is any of this real? I don't know if any of this is real. So you're right. That's an excellent point. And here's the deal: if you invest properly and you diversify, and you and you position yourself properly financially, the diversification is exactly what you do to protect yourself from those days where you're going to have things go wrong. Because here's the thing: when people ask me what the stock market is going to crash, I always say yes. And some of you have seen my videos on this. I ran this video to about 10 million people where I just said, look, let's pull the elephant out of the middle of the room. Yeah, the stock market is going to crash. Well, Doc, the market's gonna crash and then it's gonna be bad. Yeah, it's gonna crash and it's gonna suck. It's gonna happen. Yes, you're absolutely right. That's like asking me, am I or is I had a newborn baby. Is this baby ever gonna get a cold? Yes, the baby's going to get a cold. Or asking me, it's sunny outside. Is it ever gonna rain? One day it's gonna rain, man. It's gonna be terrible when it rains. Yeah, it's gonna rain. That's why I bought an umbrella. When it rains, I go back in the house and I wait till the sun comes back out. You see, because here's the thing: you can never show me a day in the history of this earth where it started raining and just kept raining forever. Rain does not last forever. It's like everything else. Sometimes love is the same way. But I don't know. Hopefully you've had lasting love, but most marriages don't even last forever, right? A lot of good things come to an end. So and bad things come to an end too. So the stock market is gonna crash. The dollar is declining in value, but that does not mean the dollar ain't got no value. The United States is still the richest country on earth. China is doing great things and they're blowing up, but America is actually on a per capita basis. America's the richest country on earth. So that means that in your lifetime and in your kids' lifetime, you're gonna have some wealth right here in this country, but you don't have to even invest just in America. If you think China's on the come up, then guess what? There are direct methods through which you can actually invest in China. You can get a piece of every horse. You can do what Don King used to do in boxing. Don King, remember when Don King would have a fight and he would literally own both fighters, and Don King won no matter who won the fight. So what I'm saying is I want you to do a little bit of a Don King. Position yourself so that no matter who wins the fight, you always win. Now, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Please share this video, especially for people who need a little bit of help. Maybe they also need Jesus. I don't know, but I'd love to help them and to help them to gain a little optimism about their economic potential. So please share this video. Also, text the word "voice" to 31996 if you'd like to get text alerts. That's right there. And also, if you want some resources we have put together to help you implement a black agenda that's all yours. We call it the all black agenda. You know, they say all Black Lives Matter. Well, we have the All Black National Convention and the All Black National Agenda. And this is an agenda that you can implement in your own family without anybody's permission that will make your life better without you waiting for a politician. Stop waiting for other people to do the things that you can do yourself. I believe in you. Also, next week, speaking on these issues, Ice Cube, the rapper Ice Cube, is coming back on drboycetv.com. He texted me and let me know he wants to come back in. I don't know exactly what he wants to talk about, but we are going to talk a little bit about Hollywood's relationship with the Democratic Party and how the financial power of Hollywood weighs into American politics. And also, I want to know from him, how did you become a man who's on his way to becoming a billionaire when you grew up as a little black boy that didn't have any mainstream opportunities? You know, they were not playing NWA on the radio. They were not making movies like Boys in the Hood. They were not, the black men didn't own basketball leagues. So I think there's a certain mindset that you can benefit from. And I'm I ask Cube to talk about that when he comes on. Probably a little bit after Thanksgiving, or what he calls so-called Thanksgiving. And I agree. So let me finish up by telling you guys what's going on with the market. There are competing theories here. The Dow hit 30,000, which is a big deal. A lot of people believe that the Dow hitting 30,000 is going to make a lot of people want to jump into the stock market. They're going to say, oh my God, what am I missing? I have a fear of missing out. Oh Lord Jesus, I need to get my money in the market. And that's going to push prices up. You got institutional investors, what they call the whales that are in the market, who are sitting on the sidelines with their money, waiting for the world to come to an end, and they haven't seen it yet. So some of the whales may jump in. That can move the prices up. But then there are other people who believe that perhaps because it hit 30,000, people are going to feel they're going to get a little vertigo. They're going to feel like it's a little too high and that the market could actually collapse. That's a possibility, right? Everything can happen. Here's the thing about the market. One warning factor I'll give you about the stock market is that there is a chance that the stock market is overvalued. The stock market, in fact, a lot of the multiples and valuations are ridiculous. When you look at what the analysts say about different stocks, like, for example, Tesla with Elon Musk. We talked the other day about how Elon Musk earned $100 billion during the pandemic, literally $100 billion in personal wealth during the pandemic. A lot of it was because he knows technology. He understands how to run a business. and he all, which is something your kids should learn. I don't, if they're good with technology, don't just send them to school to be an engineer. Send them to school to be an engineer who understands business and entrepreneurship. Then they're going to make big money. And then the last part is that he wasn't afraid. He continued to move forward during the pandemic. He did not sit still. Him and Jeff Bezos, two guys who made about $300 million a day during the pandemic. Neither one of those guys sat still. And a lot of you are doing well right now because you didn't sit still. A lot of you probably have relatives who sat still during the pandemic. And I'm thinking, like, well, you can put your mask on while you're moving. You can wash your hands while you're moving. You can take your vitamin C while you're moving. Your vitamin D and whatever other vitamins you need to strengthen your immune system while you're moving. Never stop moving. Don't let these people get you to stop moving while you sit there and wait for them to save you. Are you crazy? So Elon Musk didn't stop moving. They told him, shut down your factory, sit still, be afraid, be very afraid. Elon Musk, at the beginning, if you remember, he threw up a tweet about the pandemic that was very controversial, and he used the cuss word, and you can go look it up if you want to, but he basically said this whole panic is BS. Now, you don't have to agree with what he said, but I'm giving you an insight into his mindset. So basically what he did was, during the pandemic, he kept things moving. He kept things moving with Tesla. He kept things moving with SpaceX. Literally, and here's the thing. Process this for a minute. The week that, about 2 weeks ago, all the people were saying "I told you so" to Elon. A lot of people were saying "I told you so" because guess what? Elon caught the virus. He caught the Rona. Elon was sick with the Rona. So let me tell you. So everybody's like, "I told you so. Told you so. Told you that you out here living life and having fun and making money. You ain't sitting still like the rest of us. You gonna catch the Rona. Now you got the Rona. Ha ha. Right? So let me tell you what happened when Elon got the Rona. Let me tell you what happened when Elon Musk got the Rona. Well, number one, Elon didn't die. Last time I checked, he was at the bank. He was at the bank cashing a check for about $1.5 billion that he made in the past, maybe 48 hours or something, right? So Elon didn't die. Elon's healthy, y'all. I know you wanted him dead because he was out here not being scared and stuff. He was unreasonably optimistic and unreasonably brave. So, but he didn't die. Let me tell you what else happened. The same week that Elon was at home, drinking chicken noodle soup and whatever. I'm sure his woman was taking care of him, and like Alicia takes care of me. That same week, Elon, his company SpaceX, launched NASA astronauts into the space station for the first time in American history while he was home with the Rona. Wasn't even getting up, going to work, and his team was launching in history that's ever happened. Oh, let me tell you. God, I forgot to tell you that also while he was home with the Rona, that very same week that he was home with the Rona and his astronauts were being launched into space, Tesla, his other company, was making money hand over fist. It announced an earnings report that blew the stock through the roof and put another $20 billion in Elon Musk's pocket. So do you follow what I'm saying? So remember, all those people that are like, "I told you so. I told you it was gonna happen." He done got the Rona. He did. Apparently it didn't slow him down. So I'm just telling you. I'm not gonna guarantee that bad things won't happen to you. I'm not gonna guarantee that you're not gonna ever get sick. You're not gonna ever have a setback. I'm not gonna guarantee you that the stock market will never crash. What I'm saying to you is you got to keep going. Do you follow what I'm saying? Please give me a yes in the chat if you got what I was saying. I know that sometimes my stories are a little bit of a deviation from the initial topic, but they all go back to you. They all go back to letting you know that you're going to be all right. And if you ain't all right, then guess what? Maybe your rewards will come in heaven, but you can't live your life in fear. If you live your life in fear, then guess what? You're going to sit right here. Everybody in fear is going to sit right here. But everybody that lives for their dream and goes for what they want, everybody that wants to go forward is going to go forward. Everybody in fear is going to sit right here. So you got to make a decision. So let me keep going. Do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't done it yet, please hit the subscribe button. And also, don't forget the Blackwell Bootcamp starts in January. This week, we're doing our first ever 72% off discount just for the Black Friday week. In a couple of days, we're going to shut that down because too many people are signing up under the discount. But not too many. I'm kidding. But we do have a cap on that. So if you're interested, though, in joining us, the Blackwell Bootcamp is basically for anybody that wants to reduce dependence on the corporate plantation. Either you want to quit your job, or you want to reduce your financial dependence on your job, or you want to create financial security for your family. It's very all-inclusive. I teach that. It's a 6-week masterclass. Feel free to go to blackwellbootcamp.com if you're interested, and we get started first of the year. So feel free to go sign up for that. That's right there on the screen. Okay, so last piece here. Let me read some of this to you real quick. Hit the thumbs up button. So basically, the Dow was at 20,000 in the year 2017. Since that time, Apple, Microsoft, and Salesforce are all up by 230%. So imagine if you could have bought a house in 2017 and that house is 2.5 times more valuable than it is now. That's why stock market investing for the last 20 years has been better than a house, has been better than real estate. It doesn't mean real estate's not important, though, because real estate is real. Real estate's a little more real. Stock is pieces of paper that where the valuation can change based on market conditions. Whereas real estate is land and property and something that you can sink your teeth into. So I'm a big fan of real estate. I own some, but I'm a big fan also of the things that are making the most money. So here's what Scott Redler, a partner at T3 Live, says. He says, I feel like every time we get to a big milestone, people ask, why aren't I in the stock market? At this point, it feels like this is not going to be a sell the milestone, meaning sell where he's saying this isn't a situation where people are just going to sell out. He thinks people are going to jump in. Art Hogan, chief market strategist at National Securities, said investors like big round numbers. Quote, it's the knowledge that investors are doing well. It's not just on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. It's in the New York Times. It goes from Wall Street to Main Street. This is something that shows up on everybody's radar. So here's the deal. Strategists say, I'm gonna read a little bit more of this to you from CNBC. Strategists say that technology will continue to be a favorite sort of investment, but it will be joined by other sectors and stocks that have lagged. Investors have recently been loading up on cyclical stocks like industrials, materials, energy, and financials as sectors that will do well when the economy reopens next year, and that's true. This week, the biggest gainers I've had actually in my portfolio, besides companies like Jumia was ridiculous. It actually fell back just a little bit. Jumia and Workhorse, I love those two just because I like selling the options on those companies, but also Carnival. Carnival has been ridiculous. Royal Caribbean, very strong. The crypto market's been really fascinating this week. We talked about that before. So that's some of what's been happening this week and what's going on in the markets. So anyway, that's pretty much everything, guys. Feel free to take a look. If you want your kids to get started investing, I think that's the best thing you can do for them is to get them started investing and then also do something like a $5 a day investing plan for each of your children. And then if you do that, then what happens is your children have the gift of time. So if you start now with my brother's having a newborn baby in January, we're going to do the $5 a day investing plan for him. So by the time he's about 25 years old, he's going to be paid. He's going to have maybe a couple $100,000 in liquid assets by the time he's 25 years old. And actually, we might even do the $10 or $15 a day plan, which means we're going to double or triple that money. So long story short, if you want your kids to learn about business, we do have a Black Business School for Children at blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. Feel free to give it a try. The URL's right there on the screen. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. When your child is done going through the curriculum and the self-study examinations and the modules, they can actually print out a degree, like almost like a little college degree, where they can say that they went to business school and learned from Dr. Boyce Watkins when they were little, and that's really huge for their self-esteem. So that's where you got a lot of these kids out here that are 11 years old who have more money than their parents, or they've got $10,000-$20,000 in the bank from investing. So you want to get your kids invested as soon as possible, not just in the stock market, but also you want them to have a knowledge of real estate. You also want them to know how to start a business. Like I've always believed, as a fundamental rite of passage for Black people, every Black child should know how to start a business by the age of 12. Okay. Now, thank you for your donation, by the way, Bandyfoot. Keep supporting BOBs, Black-owned businesses. Yeah, we actually do that. Every Monday we do something on Financial Juneteenth TV called Life's a Pitch. And Life's a Pitch. There's the URL, financialjuneteenth.tv.com. Basically, we let Black-owned businesses submit 90-second pitches, and we play them on the air, and we give them feedback, but we also give them exposure. So it's free marketing for the business, free feedback for the business, for free opportunity for people to help the businesses get better and to support Black-owned businesses. So it's really great. We do it every Monday night at 8 o'clock. So feel free to subscribe to financialjuneteenth.tv.com if you'd like to join us on a future episode. Okay, guys. So I'm out of here. I hope you guys have a great day. and happy investing, and just be ready though. We don't know if it's not, the sun's not going to be out every single day, but it's been shining bright this week, and I'm super happy for you if you're making money. And I encourage you to spread the word about the importance of building wealth for the future. This is something we can do without waiting on politicians or anybody else. This is something that where you've got everything you need to be as successful as you want to be. So God bless you guys. Have a great day. And thank you for listening to the Black Financial Channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and all that other good stuff. And I'm out of here. Take care. Peace.